culture.
Let's do only the introductions.
All right. We are live. We are only 17 and a half minutes late, so we're getting much better. So, all right. We got a full house today. A lot of stuff to talk about. At 11:45, we're going to get Emerson Cook on. He'll be dialing in from Clemson. He's going to run fill our first vice chair position. And we met and talked to him. He started coming to Coffee Politics about 2 years ago before he could even vote. So, something Paul? Okay. Oh, hey. The lady with the gun shop, or used to have a gun shop with you. I'm going to point that out too. And the lady with the bison. So you guys can talk about ag stuff. It'll be fantastic. But I wanted, so, and then we do have with us Jeremy Cannon. Jeremy is out of the southern part of the state, Clarendon County, and he's a farmer, and he's running for Commissioner of Agriculture. And we want real farmers in that position, not corporate farmers and not politicians. So that's where we stand and what we will be pushing. And we're happy that he drove up today and we can introduce and have him talk about that. But first, why don't we go ahead and start off with, we have a few new guests and some old friends that are back that we haven't seen since, Milwaukee, maybe since. So, but if you'd like to introduce, tell us your precinct, what you do in your precinct, and give us your national delegate position.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, so this heavy. You got a resume, man.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I'm Ron Harris, Greenville Precinct 22. That's in the Parkins Mill, Gower, Sherwood Forest neighborhoods. And I'm the EC, and Linda here, my wife, is the precinct president. And we were alternate delegates at the RNC in 2024. And had a great time. It was a big party.
Yes. And did y'all drive Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Y'all drove the whole way in their car. Yes.
We don't fly. We just drive every day.
I only had to fly to get up there to be with her.
We had a maggot sticker on our car, and we only got
a
few run over a couple of times.
So you did not go through Minnesota.
And they hacked our credit card while we
Did
were
they really?
all kinds of
Somebody did.
exciting
Oh,
things,
no.
but we made it out alive.
Oh, good.
Ron Harris.
And Linda.
That's the easy thing I remember.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, thank y'all. I'm glad everything is going good. So we've got 3 other guests over here. If you would like to go, you were invited apparently by Frank and Liz Gunther.
I've known about this rail. My name is Deb DiMaria. I consider myself a political refugee from Manhattan. I came here for the Second Amendment, headed to the first red state.
Oh, thank you.
Got on the plane with my dog, never having placed my foot in South Carolina, got off the plane.
Really?
Some support.
Welcome. We're glad you're here. One of my classmates from the Citadel, Class 89, just retired on December 31st, I think to avoid the whole Mandami thing. But he signed up after 9/11 to be a NYPD cop. So he did that for, I guess, 24 years and just retired, missing
My daughter
Mandami.
in Manhattan voted for Mamdani, so need I say more? Need I say more? She's 43. Need I say more? We don't have a relationship.
It's tough. It's tough. What shocks me though is the families that do become divided because of things like that. But it's generally always the other side. I love talking to people who support the other side, just trying to figure out who they are and what they're about. But they get mad and angry at us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I will tell you, there's a group of some Democrats here in town. They reached out to me. Let's meet with the chair of the Greenville County Republican Party and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, absolutely, I would love to name a place name. And then she went back to her group and said, well, since they looked at our website and all the stuff that we do, and since you're such a big Trump supporter, they're a little scared to meet with you because of violence. They thought, I guess what? I'm going to come meet with you and let's have a fist fight or something. Their derangement is real.
Yes, it is.
So, thank you. Welcome. Do you have a political cause? Obviously, Second Amendment.
I've been here 3.5 years. It's been a roller coaster as being a Manhattan here. So part through stuff. In the beginning, I met Angie Fisher on the nextdoor.com profile website.
Okay.
She took me to Mark Lynch's house for dinner.
Okay.
I went to King Tut Grill a few times. I've been
Yes.
wanting to come here, so here I am.
Okay. Well, welcome. We're glad you're
It's been a
here.
while. It's been taking me some time, but here.
Well, we got lots to work. And what our theory is, South Carolina is still savable, salvageable. We do have a lot of problems. South Carolina is, when we all got involved in this in 2021, South Carolina was rated by CPAC, the people that do the CPAC conferences, as the most liberal red state in the nation. The legislation that comes out of Columbia that actually goes into law of any state that has a Republican, majority is just, it's horrible. I mean, there were literally Democratic states that have better legislation than
Are
us.
they gonna ever change this rule where you don't have to belong to a party to vote? So all these Democrats come and vote for the least
There's
Republican.
a huge battle about that. The establishment wants to maintain the status quo, and the argument is, it's a massive problem. And then their argument, the establishment doesn't want anything to change. There are a lot of people that used to be Democrats that switched to the Republican Party, and I'm not talking like regular people. I'm talking about elected officials, elected as a Democrat, switched to the Republican Party. I generally do not like that. I will give you the one exception to that rule. We're not out here trying to convert Democrats into Republicans, but the one exception is David Pasco, who's running for Attorney General. He's a prosecutor. In all transparency, he was a classmate of mine at the Citadel when we went to law school. At the same time, I think he got in a year or two before I did. I took a year off and I got the NBA stuff. But he has always been a pro-life conservative. He was a solicitor down out of Orangeburg, so I hate to say you don't have to be a Democrat to get elected down there. But he was a Democrat. He's always been pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, pro-death penalty, all those types of things. And he is that one exception because he wants to prosecute corruption in the state, and we have a lot of it, a whole lot of it. So just I say that because we're not into converting Democrats. Yes.
Yeah, I got a text this week from supposedly a whole bunch of sheriffs in different counties that are supporting
I
the
did
other
too.
guys.
Well, there's two other guys. There's Stumbo, Stephen Goldfinch.
Well, they're supporting Stumbo.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
But
realize that was 20. It says 20. It sounds like a lot because I had somebody call me this morning and ask the same thing. It was 15 sheriffs and 5 solicitors. Well, there's 46 sheriffs and there's 46 solicitors, so it's really not an overwhelming number. But that's.
But the important thing about Pascal is he wants to go prosecute white collar, upper echelon crime. And the other guy wants to go against drug traffickers and stuff like that. We want the top to be prosecuted, top down, in my opinion. That's why I support.
So you've been converted. You were not happy with Pascal in the beginning.
I'm completely converted.
Okay. Wow. All right. It doesn't take a lot. What I say with Republicans that do have that concern, it's a valid concern. I mean, I've known him for much longer. But if you talk to him, you're sold. If you see his speech, see what he's doing, you're
I
sold.
want to talk to him about.
Yes, sir. How about you? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
What brought you here? Where are you from? What your cause might be. Hey, David.
Guys, we got this.
Weird people.
My name's Norton Hicks, so I live close to Glen Elementary. My friends call me Norm. Pass by every day.
And you sit at the bar every day. You're Norm. Cheers, right? I'm cheating. I'm sorry.
Stopped by a couple of weeks ago to get a bumper sticker, and the gentleman invited me, told me about this. And just having this ever since then. This was
Okay. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Where are you from?
was born in Germany, adopted. I'm a naturalized citizen. Escaped Alabama when I got my degree from Auburn. And my daughter
Yay.
just got hers. She's the other side of the political. She's a vet, so veterinarian.
I came here from Germany, around for 32 years. So that's interesting. A little village outside of Stuttgart, Baden-Württemberg. Yeah, so see, connections that we don't know about. Okay.
There's
Welcome.
it's not 7 degrees anymore. It's like 4.
Four.
Probably. Yes, ma'am.
Brenda Stowe, been here for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Good.
Wow. Kind of needed to get it away from all the
It's okay.
Nice.
And I'm sorry, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Montana, but I moved, but I spent the last 17 years in Texas.
Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
Austin. Did you say Austin? Yeah. Austin's pretty. out there.
People's Republic,
Yeah,
Travis
it's
County.
trees, they- so there's not a lot to not like the area.
Okay. Well, welcome. What brought you here? Anything?
Like her, I was looking for a red state to come to, and I was looking around people who had some common sense, and so I researched around, and here I am.
Well, I will tell you, the citizens have common sense. Our politicians
Yes, absolutely.
do not. Jim, by and large.
About a state.
What? Citizens?
No, a politician.
Some of them are,
Yeah.
yes. Some of them can be. My story is I generally don't like 95% of politicians, and I can't tell you the 5% I like. There are a few exceptions to the rule, but I mean, they are supposed to be public servants. They're supposed to be looking out for the people, and sadly, I think most of them look out for themselves. Our big battle is obviously judicial. Well, school choices. Olga and I personally, what we've been fighting here is judicial reform, lawyer legislators picking the judges they appear in front of. And I was telling somebody that, literally talking to them the other day, had I been a practicing lawyer here in the state of South Carolina, certainly if I'd been a litigator, of course I would have probably tried to be a legislator. Invest $100,000, get elected, and I'm probably going to get a 20, 30, 50, return on my money, in billable rates and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I had one person tell me that they knew a guy that got elected, and then literally his billable rate after getting elected to the House of Representatives doubled. Because it could, you're charging $250 now. I'm a legislator, and I pick the judges. I'm charging $500. Right. So I mean, that's not the way it should be. So we're fighting that. Hopefully, there's 2 states that have where the legislature picks the judges, and when you're one of 2, us in Virginia, and Virginia is now doing everything wrong. So, as we can see, I mean, literally everything. And I had since I went to the Senate, I'll mention this one thing. They're trying to pass some law or resolution up there where literally VMI is taking all the blame for the Civil War. And it's like, what in the heck? I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's real. I got to look up the actual bill, but some civil guys were sending it to me the other day. It's just crazy stuff. But since we got the introductions, we do have a special guest today, Jeremy Cannon. Jeremy is from Clarendon County, and he's running for Commissioner of Agriculture. You announced, I think, the end of January, a couple weeks. 10th of January. And he was reached out to us, called somebody at the headquarters, and they passed on the message. And then we connected this week, and I said, if you want to come up, we always do this coffee and politics, and we'll put you on the hot seat. Not the hot seat, but what we are looking for, certainly, and I will go ahead and give part of the news, if okay. There was a gentleman by the name of Cody Simpson, works for McMaster for the past 10 years. And I'm not sure how old Cody is, and I've never really talked to him or any of that type of stuff. But he was doing something in the Trump administration, and then what has happened is yesterday McMaster's son announced he was not running for Attorney General. I think they know Pasco is going to run away with it because everybody wants to fight this corruption. And I guess they wanted to pull the Trump card, and out of the blue, Trump endorses Cody, who I was told.
Was he actually endorsed?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Or-
Pamela Vett put it on her
Or
thing.
is it, we'll have to check, because I saw that Governor McMaster said that Trump appointed Cody to the national
Right.
something. I didn't see endorsement.
Well, if you saw the Pamela Vett post that she was endorsing him too, she was joining Trump and McMaster endorsing. Now, Pamela Vett has run ads making it look like she was supported and or endorsed by Trump, which haven't been quite so accurate, and they've actually told her not to take those ads down. So maybe, I mean, have you heard that he actually,
Yes, both of them, all 3 of them came out yesterday for Cody.
so Trump did do something?
And he proposed that Cody ran. Obviously, Cody works for the Farm Service Agency,
Right.
a federal organization. But McMaster had asked, that Cody would run. And then Trump bagged him and said, yeah, I'm hoping Cody runs. And then Pamela got on that board.
Well, we all know Trump gets misled sometimes. We also know.
Where's Scotty
Right.
from? Is he Lexington?
Where does he?
He's declaring as well.
Clarendon? Okay. He does get misled, but you realize there's thousands of seats and offices and positions he has to appoint people to and all that kind of stuff. We thought a lot of that got cleared up. But I mean, he's also a loyal guy, and if he's been loyal to McMaster. I mean, we were there in 2016 when McMaster endorsed Trump as the first statewide elected official, and he's really attributed that to him getting into office. But we all know, and our folks on this side of the fence have been fighting or trying to get improvement. We all got involved in 21. Most of us, we've been doing some stuff before, but got really hot and heavy involved in the party in 21. And it was, our big mantra was the fact that CPAC had rated South Carolina as the most liberal red state in the nation. That's under McMaster's, governorship. That's a problem. And a lot of people are saying, this is 10 years of the lost decade of having the ability to improve this state. And that's part of our issue with Pamela Vett. She just wants to do more of the same. And I think when interviewed the other day, and I'm sorry we're going on a tangent with this, but when interviewed the other day, somebody asked, well, what would you do different than, what the governor, McMaster, had done? And she said, I can't think of a single thing. Who said that? I mean, wasn't that Kamala Harris that said that on The View, about Biden? I'm like, are you kidding me? And I will say that Fitz News took the endorsement from McMaster of Cody.
I'm actually pulling it up.
And then you ought to put it up there, and just, lit it on fire and said, this is like the worst thing ever. So, and what we think and what I think our body here and with the Greenville GOP, we're looking for people who are real farmers. Most of y'all know that, I've been battling this colon cancer thing, even though as a healthy human being, no family history of this type of stuff. I attributed, my battle with cancer and this stuff is the fact that the food they're giving us is no longer food.
Right.
They made tiny improvement. Let's add this chemical and it'll do this. Let's add this chemical, do this. Well, nobody's ever done a study with, we've added all of these chemicals and it's now not food. And so we're big into that. I think our people are big into it, and I'm very interested in this Commissioner of Agriculture race. And I'm particularly interested in the red flags have come up on our end in the fact that the establishment seems to really want this seat. So, and it's kind of like, what do you want to do in ag? Ag.
Mess it up.
What's he running for?
He wants to run for Commissioner of Agriculture, allegedly. But Trump had appointed him to something.
What is it?
He was state director of the Farm Service Agency.
Is that the Farm Service Agency, a federal agency? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So he wasn't actually working in DC. He was working out here. Okay. All right. But so I don't. Well, Olga, you want to read it, or you?
So what's
find some
Fitz
glasses?
News, if you know Fitz News out of Columbia, if you don't, you should follow. This is a statewide news outlet that usually have the first-hand information about anything political happening in South Carolina.
They'll get bashed as being a rag or gossip rag and all that kind of stuff. Don't listen. They've attacked us in the past. Take everything with a grain of salt, but by and large, the guys and the folks over there are generally right. And
Really?
people tell them things
And who is this?
leak out and figure it out. Fitz.
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 First in the South.
FITS News.
FITS.
News. FITSnews.com.
First in the South.
Yep. First in the South.
So Fitz News retweeted yesterday the endorsement of Governor McMaster when he endorsed Cody Simpson, and Fitz News said, any endorsement for this Taru Mohawk from this Taru Mohawk who has wasted a decade in office is an automatic disqualification. Henry McMaster has been a fiscally liberal, chronic capitalist, special interest sellout from day one.
Get it out there.
That's right, man.
Result.
So this is like the other day when somebody said to me, like, tell me how you really.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay, this is how you really.
He kind of,
I like that.
that was interesting.
It's a very powerful statement.
Who's it from?
Yes.
So that was Will Folks at this.
It's
Oh, wow.
news
Okay.
first in the South.
So I mean they seem to be coming out of the shell a little bit and trashing McMaster and all this
It's
kind of stuff.
interesting because also Fitchens being a statewide news network, they do get people from all type of environment candidates coming to studio, and so you see them take census, or sometimes they're just having all types of candidates. So this is a very, very clear statement how they feel about that's maybe not that candidate, but that endorsement. Right?
And I've never met Cody. I've seen him around, the governor and all that. Have we met him? Okay. I mean, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. But we're naturally, skeptical. I think we should all be skeptical of anything the establishment is pushing.
Of course.
I mean, yes, we love Trump, but I mean, we know Trump gets misled on some things.
So one comment online, I'm going to read sometimes because people, I love the comments. So someone said, "Who is willing to follow my master to the gates of hell? Did he come back from that trip?" Remember, very public. This was the
I think it was that Jeff Duncan's thing. He said gates of hell. He wasn't going to go there, and then he went there the next day. So like, okay.
I like it. Did he come back from that trip? I don't know.
But I want to give Mr. Cannon a little bit of time to kind of tell us about himself, about his background as a farmer, what he has seen, what he would like to accomplish in office. I know we got Emerson, and I know we had talked to Emerson about 11:45. Can you hold till noon? He gave me the thumbs up. So we'll get Emerson on there at noon, and just tell us about yourself. Speak loudly to the speakers. So working on it, why you're running, what motivated you, and how can we all help?
Now, obviously, everybody probably would rather hear Emerson, but I am glad to be here, and I will come back if y'all will have me. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be running. I'm a fourth generation farmer.
Wow.
That is what I've always done.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you. For my grandparents were sharecroppers. They were those migrants that they migrated from farm to farm, working with whoever they could. And they finally got to where what I would call the home place, where mom and daddy live now, and where our house is. And in '64.
Where were y'all? Where was your family originally from?
Well, they were just
South Carolina.
It's still South Carolina.
Yeah,
It was just
okay.
different farms
Yeah.
in the communities. May have moved 2 or 3 counties,
Sure.
but we were still from Clarendon.
If you look at the old census records and stuff, everybody was a farmer back in those days.
Yeah,
It's very, very interesting. So
And it is, something that Daddy always told me, that we farm. There's about 2-mile stretch from our house to what we call the mill pond, and where they had the mill. And it was in those 2 miles there were 18 families that farmed and lived off that 2-mile stretch. And now we farm it. It's just there's no way that 18 families could make it in today's terms. Which is really why I'm running. I'm running to help local farmers, and really help educate the public on the food system. Ken R asked me one time, why would a farmer run for an office? And I would say to that answer is because I feel like we have to. You finally get called out to a point where we can't continue going down this road of the same. We have to fix our food system. Food security is national security. So I want to get back to the local. That is what my foundation is to save local. But what we have, save our local farms, save our local towns and cities, but also in our families. But also, let's get back to local food. The health benefit that we're missing from bringing stuff in from out of state or out of country. Let's just imagine that things that have to come from California or from Mexico or from wherever, it takes at least 2 days to get to our state. And then on average, it takes another 24 to 48 hours to get to the shelf. That's 4 days.
Right.
So
Exactly.
what are we looking? You know, how are they keeping the food safe? You know, what chemicals are they preserving our food with?
We don't know.
You know, or we can get back to local and we can go buy off of, we have a farm in town in Turnerville where I live, and people can come, the community can come, and there are people that come from Greenville, from Charleston. They come to our farm.
And where is it?
It's in Turnerville, South Carolina.
Turbyville.
What's it near?
It's east of Sumter. It's in between Florence and Manning.
Okay.
We're 4 miles from 95.
Okay.
We are halfway between Columbia and Myrtle Beach. We'd like to say we're in the middle of nowhere. Because we
That's
are,
a good thing.
but we also are in the middle of everywhere.
There you go.
It's an hour and a half to Myrtle Beach. It's an hour and a half to Columbia. It's an hour and a half to Charleston. It's an hour and a half to North Carolina. And it's right at 2 hours to Georgia. So we are in the middle of everywhere. But we are a local farm, fourth generation. Like I say, our farm, that's what we do. My wife works as a teacher for the Christian Learning Center part-time. But the only income that we have other than that is our farm, because we believe in it. And I'm trying to save that for all South Carolinians.
Wonderful. You deliver?
Let's give him a good hand for that. That is what we're about. I'm not about Scout Motors. I'm about why aren't we giving tax credits and benefits to local small businesses? I'm not about massive farms. I appreciate what that has done to, I hate to say, cure hunger or starvation, which used to be an issue, I think, in the old days. But it's destroyed the small farms, and it's destroyed our food supply. Because a good thing, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. They've gotten hoggish on trying on the profit thing, and they've really forced out the farmers, small farmers, and then and it's all about the buck, and that's not what we're looking for. Yes,
I'd like to add something to that. Shannon and I live in Fountain. We have a butcher shop there. AM and PM farms and butchery. All the cattle is raised right there in Fountain.
There you go.
Yeah, we're local. That's exactly what you're talking about. That's right.
And I will tell you, the Gunthers, that introduced you here, they came, I guess, Monday a week ago, and Liz is trying out some fried chicken recipes, and apparently the chicken she bought was like some sort of special farm raised chicken that hadn't been through all the. I mean, it comes from I practiced. My business stuff was from Charleston, but my business stuff was in Atlanta. I got out of grad school. There's chicken farms everywhere.
Right.
You ever been to a chicken farm? It's interesting. And one of our clients actually did the chicken process, the rendering plant that they turned to whatever's left over and dog food and all that kind of stuff. And it was, it's an incredible, but it's not small farmers. And we got to find a way to get back to it where we can go buy food and not the 4-day delay and all that kind of stuff. Olga being from Poland, her family obviously blames me for any health issues she's had because, over there, people are raising geese and chickens and all that kind of stuff, there locally. And her story is, when she stays at her sister's house in the little village that they live in outside the big city, they take a Coke bottle, a 2-liter Coke bottle or two, down to a dairy and get milk.
Yes.
And there's literally a bakery, outside the back window. The property literally juts the bakery, and they make fresh bread every day. It's not. How many loaves of bread have I left sitting on our counter for weeks, and it still looks like it's not right. Something's not right. And we're eating that stuff, and I know you're big into the beef and the buffalo and all that kind of stuff. So we are, and people kind of called us crunchy Republicans. So I'm like, we're not going to go, Republicans are all about X, Y, and Z. We want to improve the world. And I think we got to get, the small farmers involved. And we are big into getting regular people into politics. We need more common sense, ground floor folks to run. So thank you for doing that. So yes.
Right now, how much of our food in South Carolina is either state raised or state grown? What percent of it? I heard years ago it was 40%, but I don't know if that's.
I would say it's not more than that because the way that we have destroyed markets, either through red tape or legislation, made it so hard for people to access local food.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to get into, and that's one of the things that we worked on. We've spent, like you said, Jeff, billions of dollars for the Bolds and the BMW. I'm not against those, but when are we going to, you know, put South Carolina first? We're going to put local first. Create a way. There were 3 places that you could butcher beef and sell it with a USDA stamp in our state, and we found
You hear that? There's 3 facilities where you can process beef and get a USDA stamp in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So
Where do you go?
and we found that out, and like the one near us does 10. They only butcher on Fridays because you got to have a USDA inspector there, and they do 10 every Friday. Well, 10 every Friday is not going to feed South Carolina.
Right.
So, you know, what we found out during COVID, it really, when it all hit the fan, and there was nothing on the shelves, is because it all came in on truck. It wasn't that it wasn't on the farm. You know, but we had to figure out, you know, there's an issue here. Our process and our marketing, our butcher, you know, all these things, we got to bring it back home. You know, we need to support locals. And it's healthier, and it's supporting our local rural economies.
And I like what you said, you know, food security is national security. You know, I mean, we all know about the drugs, you know, and all the ingredients come from China and all that kind of stuff. And we all know about, you know, the minerals or, you know, all that kind of stuff come from other places. It's messing up our supply chains. Well, look at the food. I mean, I know we ship a lot of food, certain foods overseas, but I mean, we get a lot. You know, I've literally seen numbers where they will grow something here, ship it to be overseas to be processed and bring it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
Here's something else that will be just shock you. You know, they're supposed to be changing in 26. We'll see how, you know, those bills work. Who's got the best lobbyist, I guess. But it was, you can put up until this, however this ruling goes, if beef was grown outside the United States or anywhere, all that has to be done is repackaged in the U.S. to be able to put a USA label.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help anybody. You know, it's the imported stuff, but you're fooling the consumer that this is safe and it's going under the same inspections and laws and everything else that we face here in South Carolina. So, well, we got to return to local.
Yes.
Yeah, and you say that. I had a friend in the cotton business. They said they could say it was organic cotton if 10% of it was organic. You know, and if they're doing that with cotton, what are they probably calling a lot of food is organic when it's really not?
Exactly.
Feed the last 30 days. You got 30 days of feeding your cattle grain. You can call it grain fed.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
it's all about them.
Yes, sir. You had a question.
I'm curious about what crops it grows on this farm. Is it just
Tell us about your farm.
No, we actually, we were historic tobacco farmers because that's what the east of the state was. You know, that tobacco paid a bunch of bills, and it was really good. It was good.
Yeah.
But no one in the department, and that's why another reason I've outrun it, had no foresight to say, hey, this is not something that
Viable.
right. It's not viable long term. So we farmed tobacco, but then it kind of tapered out in the early 2000s. We had, you know, we've been stuck with having to plant, you know, corn, soybeans, wheat, peanuts. That's what we grow.
Soybeans, peanuts,
But
corn,
they're not markets
annual.
that really impact our local people. We want to grow, so we got into produce. We actually grow 30 different varieties of produce on our farm during the year. You know, the winter greens, the broccoli, cabbage, collards. You know, during the winter months, then during the summer we get into squash, zucchini, cucumbers, watermelons, tomatoes. There's 30 different items that we grow throughout the year. Beans, peas, but we sell them there on the farm.
I love the visit.
Yeah, I love to have you come down.
And that's what's funny, and because one of our guys that had a farm, I think in South Greenville, was talking about, you know, because a lot of it's ag tourism, because people want to come see the farm and all that kind of stuff. But I think when they were doing something about the ag tourism, they were being charged sales tax or accommodations tax on top of it.
Right.
I mean, and it was like, I'm like, yeah, we need to focus on trying to fix that stuff. But it's just like, they make it as hard as possible because there's not a lobbying group out there, or it's hard to cobble together all the individuals. But that's what they count on. Big ag, and I was, just like with big everything, they can go out and write a check for a lobbyist, and then that takes people out to the fancy dinners and all that kind of stuff. And that's what impresses these guys. I mean, it's got to change. You got to get regular people in there that care about their neighbors and their community. And, we're all about America first, but it really starts, with your family, in your local precinct, your local county, your local state, and all up the chain that way. So
We have a question online. It says, what does certified organic really mean, and who certifies it?
Big government.
That's the problem. Well, those when we did organic tobacco. I mean, those organic tobacco. That's but it's the land had to be out of inorganic fertilizer for 3 years. 2 years were called transitional periods, and in the third year it can be certified organic. But you can't use any inorganic chemical compound or fertilizer on the plant or the land. That is what actually makes it organic. But people have this misunderstanding that organic is no chemicals or no. They're not putting. No, they're just organically made. So I'm not necessarily the one beating the drum for organic because I know there's so much. What is true? What is organic?
Right.
There's so much gray area there that.
Organic seems to me to be more about a marketing scheme, to then market up 50% and sell it to people.
And they can't guarantee it's healthier.
Right.
But I can show you what we spray, and I can carry you to our fields. You come to our farm, we can go across the road and see where it's grown, and you can take it home with you. And it doesn't have any chemical preservatives, anything on it. And you'll notice the difference, and the difference in beef, locally raised beef, or chickens, because it's just different. Because the way it's handled and treated and fed, is so much more healthy for you. That's what we got to get back to in our state.
Do you have to comply with certain vaccinations for your livestock?
We do not vaccinate. We are antibiotic free. We are steroid free.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And let me finish Ginger's question. I mean, who actually says it's organic? Is that something you got to go back to the state government, federal government? Or is it just?
There's a governing body that does organic inspections. Okay. So it's an auditing firm, and you have to turn in books. Like I say, it's in the fine print that when we were trying to do it for tobacco, because it's weird. Like the third year we planted it, but as long as we didn't sell it before 3 years rolled over, it was organic. So, but it was no different than if we just sold it the day before. Why was it organic the day after this date? But it's really, it's a ploy to make more money, to charge people more money for the uneducated public.
More government regulation.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
How would you suggest that we get back to the local farmers? How would you suggest that?
Well,
Look for this man.
well, one thing that I think we had, there's plenty of block grants. We had to make it more available to access the markets. How do we promote instant growing? How do we make it available? How do we help farmers take their product from the farm and educate the public? Hey, this is where you can come by local. This is where you can get truly instant grown stuff. Obviously my goal would be to put more of South Carolina produce, not just produce. We're doing a little bit of that now, instant grown in our school system. But I think we've missed the boat. It's not just fruits and vegetables. We can put proteins in our school system, but we don't have the butcher capacity in our state right now to handle the load it would take to put beef or chicken or pork in our schools. I think, we need to do more of that. We can increase and help people build the shops, the butcher shops, where we can put it in our school. We can automatically, we're helping local farms, we're helping local communities, but we're also making our kids healthy.
Do you sell to restaurants outside of your area?
We actually sell to Simplers produce. They're a wholesaler in Columbia at the farmers market, and they ship it to a bunch of restaurants.
Okay.
We actually do we're part of what they call a local goodness program with Food Lions.
Oh, okay.
Food Lions, and they've really beat the drum for local in terms of the grocery store chains.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do local goodness, and you have to go through we do a GAP certification where we're audited every year for food safety. That we're following the books, and the food that we sell is audited every year. The chemicals we put, we're following the label. We have to do things, how we harvest, what we box it in. There's a whole list of food safety that we have to go through to be able to sell this program. But look at goodness, if during the summer months, if South Carolina farmers in the program have it, they have to buy it. But what it's done is Food Line has noticed, we started in North Carolina, then he brought it down here. They've noticed that if given a choice, consumers will buy the SC grown product over the non-SC grown product because they recognize the value in it, the health value, but also the value of supporting local.
So if we follow Sam's Wholesale, then we will. Now, does Sam's Wholesale carry other?
It's SENN, SENN.
SENN, SENN.
SENN Brothers.
Okay, so they sell to Food Line. So there are other farmers who sell to SENN.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But it all depends on, well, at least in the Food Line deal, it is local goodness. It is guaranteed from a South Carolina grower.
That was going to be my next question because I have seen them.
Yes.
Some of the grapes.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay.
But they actually put the name of the farm with
Oh, okay.
the
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's very cool.
we've
That'll
had
make
pictures.
difference.
Yeah.
We've had pictures of like Paulie's Island. Somebody's been to Food Line, hey, Cannon Ag, which is our farm. We saw it.
What's the name of your farm?
It's Cannon Ag Products.
Cannon Ag.
Yeah. Oh, and not a.
All right, very good.
On those Food Line did barcode on there if it's a 3, 4, or 9. So you had to have a barcode on there to let everyone know. If it's been treated, if it's got hormones or pesticides and all that different stuff. Because 9's organic and 3 and 4's it says is non-organic.
We don't do anything organic because
I know,
but we don't have the only code we have a traceability code. We have 2 labels. There's a label that shows the day we harvested, what field it came from, and what it is, and then the other one is a certified SC grown label that we have for being a certified SC grown farmer.
Okay, so I guess as a consumer, though, how do we figure out if the code 349 is important, and and how to buy around it, or how to
Well,
learn from it?
at the grocery store, it would say organic. It would have to be
Yeah,
labeled.
but that's 9. It has to be
Right.
9 when you buy your produce.
Right.
Okay, and 3 and 4 means it has different pesticides on it. So I've never seen a produce section that didn't have 3, 4, or 9 on it.
We really don't know what we get.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is
In the
everything coded, and and he's so I'm trying to figure out how to. And he said his is an organic, but it doesn't have all the preservatives. So I'm trying to figure out when we go through the labels, what that means.
I would say the biggest thing to look for would be local goodness. And food, that is local goodness.
Local goodness.
Yes, that is the program that where it's South Carolina grown, and it has to be, and that's another thing that's key in the local goodness program, is that we have to have it has to be, well, SIM does, it has to be from our farm to their store in 48 hours. So you know it's fresh.
Okay.
These block grants, is that federal money or state money?
It's federal.
Federal money.
Chairman, I'm Mary Jo. I'm just wondering if you got to be Commissioner of Agriculture, if there was one vision you had implemented in your time as in that office. Do you have an idea of what it would be?
Well, obviously, the one program that I would look to see is put local grown food in schools, because I want our kids to be healthy.
Yes.
I know, from living on the farm and being raised on the farm, and I know the food I've been able to eat in my lifetime, and I've seen my parents live, and they're in their 80s, and I've seen my grandparents. So I know what I have. It's hard even to go to a restaurant and know that the flavor is not there.
Right.
So what else am I missing? But if you grew up on a farm, you're like, we missed the boat.
You know the difference.
This is not real food. It's what you start off with. Yes. What consumers being offered is not real food.
And it's even more important with developing children.
Yes.
I mean, they're in the development phase and they need to be eating better food. And I don't know what they got in the schools today, but the pizza they used to give us is probably be better off categorized as cardboard.
Really?
But it makes me nervous to even think.
I know
what
it, doesn't it?
Because they buy in bulk and scale. It takes more work. But in today's society, and I would say even using AI to be able to know the inputs, to be able to know where to send stuff to, get it quicker, the logistics of it all that type of stuff. We can do it. As I always say, where there's a will, there's a way. And if there is a will, and if we have people in elected office that have the will to do it, they will find a way to do it. It will be like beating your head against a wall. I will assure you. You'll get in there and you'll be like, what did I get hold of? And but we got to have people that are willing to try it, as opposed to people who are already politicians, just want a title and I'm just going to do it and just be part of the good old boy system. And then that's what we got to be very careful about. So what is your social media, your website, all that kind of good stuff? Olga's got it up on here, but just for the record, it's kind of lay it out there.
Obviously, you can find me on cannonforag.com. That's my website.
Can you spell that?
It's
CANNON forag.
Yeah,
forag.com. Cannon for Ag.
FOR, FOR, or the number 4? Okay. Forward. Oh, here we go. Cannon for Ag.
Yeah, it's got the number 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Cannonforag.com. And then you got a Facebook. You can find the Facebook page and all this. I've always got it up on the web, online. Yeah, there it is. Cannonforag.com.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
It is the number.
It is the number. Yes. The number 4. Cannonforag.com.
Have more than 3 meat USDA processing 20 years ago.
Well, we've lost some, but some of that was. I'm not sure if that was red tape or what all happened.
But I've heard nationally we've lost a lot of them.
Consolidation.
It's a problem.
But it's
some purpose.
Big money, dark money.
Yes.
There's only 3 in South Carolina. That's incredible.
Well,
And it doesn't sound like they're mass.
no, there's some state, there's some SC stamps. I'm talking about USDA stamp.
Yeah. That's what we-
So like our beef can be sold anywhere in the United States. But SC stamp has to stay inside state lines. So
Okay.
That's a little bit different inspections, but there's only 3 to my knowledge of USDA inspector locations for beef.
All right, as it develops and as it goes, I know it's a little bit of a drive, even though you're all in the center of everything in South Carolina. And what we're doing is we're gonna go to Emerson next, but in the future, if you want to dial in, keep us updated, abreast of what's going on and all that kind of stuff, we're happy to do it. And I'm sure some folks around here will have some questions about what to ask you.
I have a question from Liz Fletcher.
Oh, yeah, we hadn't got any coffee.
I can't get a coffee. Jeff said the coffee was good.
I'm not even drinking the coffee.
It's so bad.
Only got you coffee.
We've got to keep
I
solar.
don't ship.
It should
Oh, the
be.
solar thing? Oh, my gosh.
It makes electricity. This is Liz.
And
Fletcher.
his, address will
I don't know
be
if
with
you're aware,
because
but
I
there
don't
is a big movement in Europe to put the local farmers out of business and
I
to
grew up
import meat from South America or other
Speak
countries.
loud.
And they are, the farmers are rebelling. They're
Hey, guys.
bringing cow manure, where the EU is in Belgium. They're doing all sorts of stuff. The Ukraine, which was the breadbasket
Right.
of Europe, the remaining arable land in Ukraine is being farmed by BlackRock. And what BlackRock is doing is they're trying to undermine the local farmers in the different countries to put them out of business. Trump recently signed a deal with Argentina to import for 40 billion or something like that, to import Argentinian meat, which may not be so healthy, may have some diseases, here to the United States. There is a thrust by the globalists, and the globalists are here in the United States to put farmers out of business. And you control the people if you can control their food supply. Yeah. And it's just a background. We are persecuting farmers in Europe. I know that personally, and we're starting to do it here, or we have started to do it already. So I just want to say this is wonderful. You're a farmer. I love it. And I'll vote for you.
Thank you.
What is your primary?
June 9th. Same one with the governor, lieutenant governor.
June 9th and 2 weeks of early voting. So we're going to be pushing a lot of people.
All right, young man. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love your shirt.
Yes.
Okay, is Emerson there?
Yes, Emerson's here.
All right,
I hope he didn't
Emerson.
skip a class.
I know.
We're going to add Emerson to the screen. Oh, there he is. Can we take this one off?
Yeah, take me off.
Take off.
I'm Terry.
You're Terry. All right. We got Emerson Cook. He is. I'm going to lay out how we got here. But at the last meeting in January, business meeting, I announced that we were going to have a new election to replace Mike Voden as first vice chair. And if anyone was interested, to reach out to us and let us know. I happened to go. Emerson was at that meeting. He came, I guess, over from Clemson to come to a business meeting, and not many 19-year-olds or 18-year. Are you 18 or 19-year-olds like to come to? All right, now what do we got to do to turn off the volume? How do I hear Amber? Can you say something so we can see if we can hear it?
Potato.
We're not hearing it. Are you turning it up on the TV? Is that what you did?
But it has to be either Emerson speaks or
There he is.
Either Emerson speaks or me.
Yes. So
We can't speak at the same time.
Not if we want to hear it on TV.
How does it? That's not how it works. We can't speak at the same time. I think we can speak at the same time. What kind of systems can you interview somebody and not speak to them? All right. Oh, yeah, I promise you. Emerson, can you say something?
Hear us?
Potato.
All right, I'm going to turn on Emerson. Say something.
Is that any better?
That's yes.
Okay.
We can hear you on my computer. So, what? I think what happened the last time is you remember you plugged my computer into the speaker. That's what we did. So, technical. I'm looking for a new production crew. She'd be happy to. I get in a lot of trouble. All right. Oh, yes, that'll be, all right, Emerson, you're gonna have to come in on Friday. All right, we try to have some humor here. But, all right, okay, Emerson, can you hear us now?
Yep, can hear you fine.
Okay, so try to speak loud so my computer will speak a little
Yes,
louder
sir.
too. But where it is we kind of announced that the next day on Tuesday, Olga and Terry went down to Jerry Tussaud's swearing in, for Simpsonville City Council, and then I ran into Emerson and some other folks at Zen, because I think the Bourbons and Brews guys were doing something, and I guess they had Paul Dan speaking, and Mike, or I'm not Mike, but David Pasco. So we kind of split up and went there, and I actually asked Emerson if he was interested in it. And he said, sure, but I didn't think he could get the votes. I said, well, if we'll talk to some folks, introduce you, the party leadership and such. And we haven't had anybody else contact us, because, who the heck, you see me insulting my production crew here. So who wants to be part of that? so Emerson, I hope your skin's a little thicker than Olga's.
We'll see.
Yeah, ran her off.
I like to think
Yeah,
so.
she's trying to find the speaker to plug in. See, I would remember these things.
Oh, I wish you remember it before.
I would try to remember them before. So she's going to plug in right here, and then hopefully, I thought we had a longer one of these wires. Plugging it in.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm a beggar. So is it working now? Oh Lordy! All right, but we did this past week. All right, ladies.
Gentlemen. Not just ladies, it's gentlemen too.
These gentlemen. I was calling them ladies.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to get their attention.
Yeah, it didn't work too good.
All right, we got to be quiet so we can hear him. Olga's going to plug the whole thing in.
Good job, Olga.
Okay, let's see.
All right, is it working? Emerson, speak.
That seems to be better, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Here now.
That sounds pretty loud on this end, so we're good.
Sweet.
Yes, I apologize to the audio crew. But
Okay,
that's the way I operate. You attack them and then they step up they perform better. Look, he's giving it to me. So I'm recovering from chemo. I got that. My doctor told me I had 12 months of excuses, so that's fine. It takes a long time to wash this nasty stuff out of you. It's not. You think the food we're eating is bad? Wait till they put that stuff in you. All right, Emerson. Tell us about yourself. Tell us how you got involved in all this. Tell us what you're doing, and why in the world would you want this position?
I ask myself that every day. But in short, the reason I initially got involved really was because I got, much like everyone else, I got sick and tired of turning on the TV and seeing the nation that I loved continue to honestly go down the shitter. I've said this since I first began going to meetings, but as a proud member of the Gen Z generation, I look around at other people like myself who started getting into politics, when they're in high school or even younger than that. And I saw a group of individuals that wanted to actually be the generation that would fix these systemic foundational problems in our country. Because it's not just the people who are in power. It's not just the policies they push. It is something much more foundational to our American society. We are a Christian nation, and we're seeing that those foundational institutions attacked, our morality attacked, and replaced with something that frankly isn't American. But so I began going to coffee and politics when I was a senior in high school. I remember the first day I walked in, I had my suit on because I'm an 18-year-old kid. No one's going to listen to me. No one listens to me.
We got a few people that dress nice. I'm wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah, but I was the youngest person in there by a significant margin. So I want to dress up a little bit. Remember, I sit down. The first thing I'm asked was either what position I was running for or if I was a news reporter. And imagine their surprise when I told them I couldn't vote yet. So that was my first little foray. But really, as I kept going, eventually I've gone off to college. I'm a student at Clemson currently, getting my master's in accounting and my bachelor's in political science. And really, as I continue going, I found that there are problems that need solving, and very specific problems. And so last semester I got picked up by the Sentinel Society. They're a policy think tank centered in the Midwest and Southeast. They have me currently working on foreign and economic policy for them. I'm also working with the Clemson College Republicans. I work with them, Young Americans for Liberty, and Turning Point, running the Clemson College Republican Research and Development Committee for policy as well. But really why I'm running is because I think that going forward, the future of the Republican Party really is the youngest generations. I have seen in my own generation, the divide between the left and right is only growing. And I'll use Clemson as an example. We have the Republican little cohorts, and then we have the Clemson College Democrats who are ineffective. They don't do anything. They have no leadership. And then there's the Young Democratic Socialists of America. So immediately you have the far right, and then you have the much further left. And I think that divide is only going to continue growing. And if that divide only continues growing, then we're going to need stronger leaders than ever who know their stuff and are willing to take a stand on the hard issues no matter the cost. And that is really why I'm running, because I think that I can not only do the job that needs doing now, but also begin looking forward the next 5 years, 10 years, and beyond for the future of this party, and begin bringing in the next generation that's going to continue seeing it thrive and seeing it grow and turn South Carolina and the Southeast United States in general into the deep red Republican envelope pushers that it needs to be. We're seeing the left go after states like North Carolina and Virginia, where they've gotten governor's mansions, they've gotten majorities in the state legislature. They're really ripping out institutions there. They're going after firearms, online sales of ammunition. You have Washington State wanting to ban 3D printers and CNC machines because they can supposedly used to be produce ghost guns. How they plan on doing that, I have no idea. But I look at that and I am seeing, frankly, just the enemy going mask off. The latest gerrymandered districts for Virginia are absolutely ridiculous. You have 10 congressional seats going Democrat, 1 Republican. The most egregious example is looking like it just ripping out different groups from the center of their state. Meanwhile, we can't even figure out how to get a bill passed through the House. Things like that are not acceptable, and we need to be fixing them. And that can't just be the older generations. Gen Z needs to step up and move away from the sidelines or we're just on the internet yelling at each other and move actually into these leadership roles and start pushing up on the ground, on policy, on legislation, and on the campaign trail. Luckily, we've been seeing that we still have a long way to go.
And I like you because you don't take beers away at the parties. So because you're under 21, we don't have to compete. We don't have to buy beer for you. I'm kidding, but Terry's just shaking her head. Yeah, it has been a long time since I've had a beer. That's true too. So I mean, I got all this kind of stuff. But I mean, we have been here in Greenville doing what we could to get as young people involved as much as we can. Dylan Peters is our youth fourth vice chair. Dylan's what, 22 now? Yeah, but when he and one of our other ECs, they were like, I think 18 or 19, but they became ECs of their precincts, and I think, naturally, Emerson probably thought, why would y'all want a 19-year-old kid? Well, I mean, because we've got to get youth involved. We really, really do. I mean, it can't be, gray hairs or going on gray hairs and all that kind of stuff. We've got to get,
Mine's blonde.
Yes, I know how much you pay for that. So we talk about it. But I'm like, that's really what it is. And I know Emerson's involved with the Young College, Clemson Republicans. I guess not Young Republicans, Clemson Republicans. YAL, some other groups like that. I think it's important that he and other folks see what we're doing as well, because we do have a very different take on things than some other groups. And we get taken to task by people on all sides of issues, because I mean, we try to, point out, sometimes the hypocrisy of some things, sometimes the whole, where, really focus on where what's beneficial for the people, and focus on following the money and all those types of things. So we're doing a lot of stuff, obviously here in Greenville, but we kind of lead the way on a lot of stuff we're doing statewide. And I think being able to incorporate youth into that even more, or show our commitment to that, is more important than a lot of, other things we do. Because I mean, Emerson, you went to AmFest this past December. You
I flew. Flying with that was not fun.
Oh, the flying there, I mean, I want to be like, who was the guy that was the NFL commentator that would take a bus everywhere? That's what I want. I mean, he had his own bus. Madden. Yeah, everybody knows Madden on the game or whatever. But I'm like, he wouldn't fly, and I'm like, I don't want to get on a plane anymore. So, but Arizona's a long way away. So yeah.
AmFest was interesting. It was my first time going, so I went with a bunch of people from Clemson. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's something I'll be going back to, because I feel like it was a lot of just, frankly, internet celebrities talking to each other. I'm much more of a let's sit down, actually get the work done, and do less talking, more.
Yeah.
So
said you're hired. So, but I mean, that is what our group is. We are a working GOP. We're not a just talk and tell you all the problems that are out there. We are a working GOP. We are the pick and shovel folks.
Although I say that in my job is literally to right, so I don't know. Maybe there's a little hypocrisy there already.
But you have to figure it out first before you can actually go and implement. But we're all about the numbers and turning people out and all that kind of stuff. And when we go through the events list that we've got coming up over the next month or 2 months, you'll see us dialing that up. We got to dial up everything for the June 9th primary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think turnout 2 years ago, I mean, we'll see it with but when you got 14 or 17% turnout at a primary, when the primaries will determine who our next governor or our next commissioner of agriculture or our next attorney general, that's where we've got to turn things out. So, if we can get turnout up, from 15% to 20%, and if it's our people, that's only an extra 5 out of 100 people in your precinct. Can you, go bring another 100 or 200 people out to vote in your precinct? And that's some of the things we'll talk about on what we're doing with the growth side, and I think Emerson kind of can help us with that. That changes everything. We win elections if we can increase the turnout with our type of people. Most of our people are like, oh, I don't trust the election systems. I don't, it's what's the difference? You're going to get the same old. Well, not if you turn out. So,
well, I've been working with the Young Americans for Liberty chapter here, and we have a plan developed for that. We're currently working with some people at Bob Jones, maybe also North Greenville University, at seeding more chapters of the College Republicans of Young Americans for Liberty in those areas to begin mobilizing the younger votes and getting more people who want to do door knocking, phone banking, all those things. So something we've been pushing pretty hard. There's some logistical complications with us having to have that 1 hour commute, but I think we've been able to push the envelope on that pretty well. And I think hopefully by the time those primaries come around, we'll have those up and running, and we'll integrate them into a growing state federation that we have created here centered in Clemson.
Yeah. The Young Americans for Liberty, they have something called Win at the Door, which is kind of what, I love the term, that's kind of what we want to get our precincts activated, build your precinct, get more people out. And what we'll talk about later is we've got some metrics and some growth metrics for that our first training on that will be, I think, the 28th, a Saturday. So what we're doing here on Fridays, 11 to 1, we're going to do Saturday trainings, Robert's Rules of Order, Q&A for the special meeting on the 23rd, and I think the third weekend.
So you're doing my job.
So I'm doing her job. So because I can't do hers, that's why I do everybody else's. So, but Emerson, I appreciate you stepping up for it. Emerson, he reached out to me. He's like, "Can I get the list of the ECs, from each of the precincts so he can call them?" He wants to call them and talk to folks. We sent the email out. Everybody that I've talked to has been very positive about it. But we hope to welcome you to the team. You met with other people, from the board and all that kind of stuff, and you met a lot of the folks here coming to the Coffee and Politics. So I'm a little disappointed you're not wearing a tie right now, but that's okay.
Put a dress shirt on.
I gave my suits dry clean. Give me a week.
It is Casual Friday, and I purposely did that today for Casual Friday. But we also want to show youth that we value their opinion, we want their input, and we will put them in leadership positions to help push us to do better, and so that they can see and utilize some of our experience in that sense. So I hope you didn't skip class, but I see Diana Weir said great. So she will be somebody you need to call and ask for her vote, and I'm sure you'll get it. So, all right. Anything else you want to help us with? Your dad's a CPA, so I'd definitely like that.
I mean, if you need a CPA, it's pretty good at his job, if you ask me.
Yep, I'm sure he is. So all right. Well, we'll let you. The future needs to be educated. Yes, that's right. You're right, Diane. So, all right. Well, thanks, Emerson. If you got anything else, let me know, and then we'll be in touch. And thanks for stepping up.
Well, thank you for having me on today. Obviously, you have my number. Anyone who has questions, comments, or concerns, I like to keep an open door policy. So feel free to call or text or email me. That should have been sent on the email blast to the ECs. I'm sure anyone who needs information can get it.
It is. Just give us your number if you want, and your social media. And I'll do the Steve Bannon. How do people get in touch with you? All that kind of jazz. Do you have?
My phone number is 423-480-6490. I'm on X under Emerson W. Cook. I've been as active in there as I probably should be, but that'll change here pretty soon. And then my email is just emersoncookgop@gmail.com.
Okay, very good. And Olga can throw that up on the screen.
And that just brings, I think, how one of people running for county council told on social media, I saw, if I get elected, you will get my personal number.
Yes, there's somebody that's running for one of the county council seats that, told somebody on social media. They were like, how, somebody asked them the question, how would I get in touch with you? How am I going to know you're actually going to talk to us?
Yeah. You're not going to disappear on us.
Right. And his response was, I'll give you my cell phone number if I'm elected. It's like, really?
That's clown behavior right there.
Yeah, it made no sense whatsoever. So but that is.
Guess nobody's not going to get elected then.
I don't think so. But it is interesting to watch how people run their campaigns. So
some people are interesting. That's why politics is entertaining.
It is
sometimes entertaining, sometimes impressing, sometimes infuriating, sometimes all three.
Yes, that's right. All right, guys, we'll let you go. Get to class. Keep making straight A's.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Just so y'all know how that all works.
Oops.
Okay, we out.
All right, Emerson.
All right, so can they hear us on?
I
So
can't.
I'm gonna just do this.
Yeah, you gotta mute
We
yourself.
gotta write down how this process is.
Yeah,
Okay,
in case anything ever
so
happens.
we're all good now. They can hear us out there in Cyberland, and y'all can hear us. So, okay. When are we voting for him? Oh, the EC body.
Yeah.
So we'll vote for him at the special meeting on February 23rd. We sent the email. We're going to do a Q&A about, when we call a special meeting, some people get confused. We could have more than one topic,
Okay.
but we could only the topics on the call to meeting can be covered. So there's no open business, no new business. It is only the 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 topics that we will list out a couple days before the meeting. We have to give 24 hours notice, but we let people know far in advance that it's coming so they can save the date. And then we'll do a Q&A on the Saturday. That'll be on a Monday. We'll do a Q&A the Saturday before, and then we'll do on 11 to noon, and then we'll do one on Thursday, like 7 to 9 or something, whenever. Let people ask as many questions as they want. So I want this one, we didn't do it at the last meeting, and I probably should. I didn't think there's any controversial votes or not. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to hammer through all of the issues that we'll bring up, for that special meeting. We're not going to have any other speakers or candidates or stuff like that. So it's really just a business meeting. So
I'm
it's
still very confused about districts and precincts here.
okay.
I need an explanation.
Well, the way, and I can help you a little bit, the way the party itself, where do you vote is your precinct, okay? And our county, we have 151 precincts. We're the biggest in the state, certain population. I think Charleston may have more precincts. We have not split up our precincts like they should have, but we have 151 of them. 151 precincts make up a county. There's 46 counties in the state. There's about, if you look at the whole state, there's 3,000. I used to know the exact number, 3,000 some odd precincts in the entire state. The way we try to look at everything is to look at your precinct.
But there's a certain amount of precincts that make up a district.
No, ma'am. Districts, and so you got House seats, you got Senate seats, you got county council districts, it's all convoluted.
Yeah,
It is convoluted and hard to figure out. He's got the whole state. He's got every one of them. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe harder. But what will happen is you'll see in your precinct, half of the people may be in this House district and half may be in a different House district. Yeah. But is that a House district, or is that your county council district, or is that school board district? It is, I think, almost by design complicated. I'm sorry, what? Oh, fourth is probably your congressional district. So you really have to, and what I highly encourage everybody to know, go to scvotes.gov, log in as yourself. You can put your name, your voter registration, and it will list for you all of the districts that you live in. You may live in a fire district too. So, yes, that's it. That's his. That's all of the districts that are in there. And you should know that. And you should know who your elected officials are for each one of those positions. And most people don't. That's why I try to identify people by what's your precinct. When you see on my emails that go out, it's Jeff Davis, chairman, Timberlake precinct.
My precinct is Feaster.
Feaster, yes.
Because both nobody's operating it.
Probably not, because it is historically been, so we need to talk to you afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
And have your open officials on speed dial at all times.
you really could, and you should be able, you should
Get to know
know
'em.
if your elected official doesn't know you, or you don't know him or her, they don't really care. And I will tell you, if you call in and complain, the first thing they go do is pull up your voting record. If you don't vote in the primaries, they don't care. I know, but I don't know, but they realize they do that. We had somebody make a complaint. Two people made a complaint. We'll see. But first thing I do is go look them up, see if they're really Republicans or they're Democrats just trolling, and then I see if they vote in the primaries. And I'm like, I appreciate it. You can complain all day long about who's the candidate for Congress or who's the candidate for my house, but I'm like, you didn't vote in the primary.
Yeah.
I can't help you. I'm like, we're trying to do everything to go from 15% turnout to 20%. Some of those people are good people and they bitch and moan and complain, but they can't get. We have a guy that ran for Congress here that wants our support on all this kind of stuff. Ran for elected office. I don't necessarily Congress, but ran for elected office. And I called him up and I said, hey, we need somebody, we need you to come out to reorg, for his precinct. He was too busy. I'm like, but you want us to support you running for an elected office, but you can't come out to reorg? The reorg is the basis of everything, reorg is how the party is. And you see what the party does. The party does what they did yesterday. The party and the establishment go find a politician to sit there and, as governor, I'm going to endorse this person. As lieutenant governor, I'm going to endorse this person. And I went and got Donald Trump to, I pulled the Trump card and got Donald Trump to endorse this person. Does that mean it's the right candidate?
No.
We know that. But I will tell you, there's a lot of drive-by voters that don't know any different. And we've got to get out and talk to them. I am a perfect example of that. When I lived in Atlanta, I was busy. I was working all the time, trying to meet girls like that. I'm trying to make up for the production thing. Give me a little grace.
She's ignoring me.
Yeah, she is. Oh yes, I can tell it's going to be a long weekend.
Yes, my girl.
But I would go vote, and I didn't know who I was voting for. I was just like, when I go in there, I saw a bunch of those signs, so that must be the right person.
The yard sign.
Literally, the person with the most signs is probably the office. The person that sent me 7 different mailers. It's
Yeah.
the people with the money are probably the wrong ones.
Right.
But how do we battle the money? We have found ways to get text out and meet people, spread the word through social media. We had to do it organically. For every dollar, or every $500 or $1,000 the establishment spends, we can probably beat them with truths, number one, and probably $1 or $2. But it's a lot of volunteer effort. It's a lot of get out there and build your precinct. That's what we're going to do on the 28th, and we're building out the platform for that. We'll do the training.
What do they say? Boots on the ground?
For boots on the ground and the training. So let's go through the events that are there. That'll actually help. And if you put it up on the screen too.
Okay.
And I'll let Terry. I'll do everybody's job. What?
Go,
Should I
Terry.
write them all down?
Oh, she wrote it down. So
Okay,
if
well,
only
I
can
want to
keep
do a
up with
special
you.
meeting, but okay. Special meeting, will be at the Taylor's Library. That is February the 23rd. And like Jeff had mentioned, we'll be sending out more information of what the agenda and what we'll be
Can
discussing.
you put it on the screen?
Yeah, it's something else.
She's got it on the TV up there.
Okay. All right. So.
So 6 to 8, I
6
think
to 8
we'll
At the Taylor's Library.
start doing the credentialing at
Yeah.
5:15 or whatever, 5:30. I think it'll be easy. Let's not watch that.
No speakers, just what will be on the agenda.
And hopefully, as I've kind of put out in the email, this was just to the ECs and presidents of all the precincts, because we send out a separate email for that just to get past the spam filters and all that kind of stuff. When you do a campaign, a lot of it get locked away. But we want the people that are voting, because the other thing that's very important with this particular meeting, to elect somebody at the county leadership level, we have to have 2/3 of our precincts vote. So we can't have, normally a quorum for regular business is, I think, 20 precincts, 25 precincts, something like that. We show up 100, so it's not really a big deal, but we have to show up 2/3.
Well,
So we got to make sure we show up 2/3 of the organized precinct. So that's,
correct, but let's mention for those that will try to jeopardize that and not show up to the meeting.
I don't
Like,
Yeah.
we have people that
That will do that.
do it, play games.
Yeah.
If we don't have quorum for 2 meetings, then we don't have to have a quorum, so we will keep doing it.
several years ago, when we had a lot more rhinos that were involved in the party, we voted most of them all out. They would not, when Mike Bowden first ran for state EC, I think back in 22 or whatever, but the other side would not show up at the meeting to make sure we did not have a 2/3 quorum to be able to elect him. So we had to have one meeting, couldn't get the 2/3, because even though they were a third, it was like they kind of kept us from getting to the 2/3 level. Had another meeting, didn't get to the 2/3, we had to have a third. When you do the third meeting, it doesn't matter how, a quorum is the people that are there. So that's how you got. I mean, there are Robert's rules that we're going to do in next Saturday. We're going to do. Dr. Sheen has done a video series of Robert's Rules of Order. I will tell you, it's very interesting. Go ahead. Well, I'll let her keep going through it. But, all right, go ahead.
Okay, next. Okay, I've got the Melania movie tomorrow. We're supposed to see it at Regal. It's been changed because of the snow. We're doing it at the Camelot.
Okay.
All right, that's where the old McAllister Square is. I think it's Greenville Tech now, where you vote. They've got the voting thing down. All right, 2:45 when the movie starts. Go online, buy your tickets. Tickets are $9, but they are even cheaper. They only charge $1 service fee versus where the other places charge $2. Their system's a little different. We don't know how many tickets have been sold. So if you want to get your tickets, I'd get them online, or you can take the chance of showing up and hopefully they'll have some. I don't have time to call every day to see how many have sold. So,
the theater's got.
I'm sure they've got 85.
It'll be
85
fine.
people.
Yeah,
So,
just-
and I know a lot of people that bought tickets the last time. aren't coming this time because of it being on Saturday. And then after 2:40, after the movie, we are meeting at Papa and Beers for dinner and to discuss the movie. We got the room, right?
That's around 5.
Around 5. This movie's an hour and 4 minutes, I think. 40. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a good
Have you seen it already?
I seen it on the snow day. We went on Monday.
Oh, good
Okay.
for you. All right, good.
I can't believe she went with.
Okay, don't be
impressed, yes.
What was the,
And the Saturday you said it.
Camelot.
And what's the address?
I
of Camelot?
don't.
It's right by McAllister Square.
Thank you, thank you.
What is it? 307?
No, it's 48 East Atrium
Atrium,
Drive.
yeah. It was on Atrium.
But the movie starts at
2:45.
2:45. Get there a little early.
Yeah.
2:45.
Oh, there was no preview for it. Maybe.
I got there at 2:40, about 2:50. It already started.
Oh,
So
okay.
get there on
Better get
time.
downtown.
And we played Hills trying to find a seat because it was
Really?
dark. I mean, we had.
Wow.
Oh, being dark, okay.
Oh my God.
Get early before. Yeah.
And Papa's and Beers is only like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes away. It's on Haywood. So, and it's a Mexican restaurant in case any of you want to know that. Okay. All right, the next thing I've got, what do you got next? Okay, I've got the Robert's Rules. Okay, Robert's Rule will be February 14th at 10 o'clock, right?
10 to
10
10.
to 12.
Yeah.
And I know none of you have your search of Valentine's Day that early, okay? You still got time for dinner and stuff. Except Jeff's informed us he does start in the morning, so I don't know about that. You serve over breakfast in bed and all
Yes.
that.
No.
You mean?
She traditionally makes me eggs, a little
Really?
scrambled eggs in the shape of a heart, and some bacon.
Thank you,
So,
Olga.
Glad you remember.
So that'll be February, that's a Saturday, February 14th, here at the headquarters.
so and that's by Dr. Sheen,
Dr.
who's our
Sheen.
parliamentarian.
But it's a video, he won't be here.
No, I'll ask him if he wants to, but I mean,
Okay.
but he's done a series of videos
Videos
that
about
we'll
Robert's
put
rules.
out, and I think we're just going to run through all of them, Q&A as we go through. But it's important to understand Robert's rules.
And we've had a lot of requests because people, when they get in the meetings, they don't, so much is going on, they don't know what to do. So that's why we've decided to do this. And then the next thing I've got is building your precinct. And that is February the 28th. That will also be at the headquarters. And that's in the morning too, right? 10 to 12?
We're trying to keep everything 10 to
10
noon
to noon.
on
Okay?
Saturday.
On
So
Saturday.
that'll be kind of a regular thing, as we kind of step up things going into the spring. So we're looking at
good.
giving you the tools and the guidance on how to build your precinct.
We need
Number
that.
one,
Yeah.
for membership, there's kind of a three-leg of the stool. Membership, we want to grow the membership. If people pay $25 or $40 a couple to be members of the Greenville GOP, they're invested, right? So that's number one, build the membership out there, really for reorg in 27. Number two, we're working on a pledge. Get people in your precinct. Not that we're going to harass them, but will they pledge or at least let them know about the June 9th primaries?
Right.
Can we go out and find an extra 100 people or 200 people in your precinct that may and give you the tools, but that will vote, agree to come out and vote. And what we will do and provide them is a voter guide as well. So we're not going to be harassing them or anything like that. But it's like, hey, we want you to know about the primary. We had a question down there, what date is the primary?
Right, yeah.
A lot of people forget, some of us that live as 24/7, I can't get June 9th out of my head, but I'm like, he's probably said it 1,000 times, June 9th, June 9th. But I will tell you, I get so many people that will reach out to me after, a primary because they see the results and they'll be like, I didn't know there was an election coming up. And then I just sit there and I'm like rolling my eyes. I got to be nice about it. And then I'll look them up and I'm like, oh, you were on our list. We sent out 3 mass texts to you saying, come
You
out.
just delete.
Right. And they don't look at it. So what we're looking to do, imagine an EC president couple here, that you reach out to the people in your precinct and you have your list.
We were
And-
helping them to do that before.
Yes. And if you can do that, I will promise you that will get turnout up. And what we're going to do is track, kind of give you bogeys of what it was in the past, what you should shoot for as your goal, and see who overperforms or underperforms. You know, but you know, maybe you win a taco or something. You know, you get 20%. You know, but you know, we got to have. I'm a goal-based planner. How do you plan that out?
I'm some new, so this is a dumb question. My apologies. But there's 151 precincts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many people can the headquarters manage?
We'll do it through Zoom and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But it's really about, you know, when we'll record it. So, and then we'll do a lot of these.
And yeah, it's not only one time.
Yeah, we'll do.
Another session that evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always been wanting us to do a coffee and politics like at night, you know, weird.
Now,
so we'll do more and more.
Then just reach out to. I'm new here, so again, just reach out to my precinct chair or and then see what.
Yeah. And you're a perfect example. Kyle. Help us build that precinct into what is really phenomenal.
And
You're clear Easter when you get.
No, you're living in the right.
No, you live
Yeah, we're probably doing shit
We can help you with the data and who are the regular Republicans in your area and how to get to them. You know, that type of stuff. Hold on.
Our reorg chair is our third vice chair watching online, and she messaged me, get the Easter lady sign up.
Yeah.
I've been dodging this for 3 years.
Oh, no more dodging. Yeah, the website obviously for all these is greenvillegop.com/events, greenvillegop.com/events, and all these are up there.
Okay, the next thing I have is,
Yeah, we got more. Keep
I
going.
got more.
We are, as I'm done with the chemo, we are going to dial this sucker
He's
up.
working me to death, guys. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I've got the business meeting on the 14th. I mean, April the 13th at 6. Save the date. Right now, just save the date. So working on location. Let's see. And then we also on.
Yes, we can announce we have few speakers confirmed.
The keynote will be Curtis Loftus is coming up to speak. And then we got the current state treasurer. We will know who's running for office by then. Filing season starts March 15th or 16th. I think 16th is a Monday. It goes to March 30th or whatever. But it's just those 2 weeks. So we will know by then who's running. My guess is nobody's going to run against Curtis Loftus. And I can't wait to see who actually tries to. So it'll be a whole lot of fun. So
is this state firm? Is this state firm or is it subject to change?
Is the
data?
The data is firm. Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. As long as we can get the space, something may happen. You know, I mean, so we're working on it.
So,
but we're usually.
And the only reason we didn't do it the first Monday for the ones that like to complain is because that's considered a holiday too, because it's the Monday after Easter Monday. So that's why it was moved.
And the 13th was better for Curtis. So
it was. So, okay. And the next thing I have is South Carolina state elections. That will be done on March the 20th.
Safe.
Safe. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said safe.
We're going to do a Greenville Election Integrity Summit. So,
yes.
Yeah, just about the elections, the status of the there's a lot of talk. You know, the FBI raided, the Fulton County stuff last week. So there's a lot of stuff coming. I noticed it when Trump was over in when he was in Davos.
And he made that announcement.
They were talking. They were all like, "Here, look at Greenland," and then he made the statement. Like, oh, and there'll be some stuff coming on the elections.
There'll be some indictments.
And then it started happening. The raids and all that. And that's if you understand how he operates in the government. It's always there's a plan. There's always something more and more coming. But this is Laura Starr's group out of Lexington, Laura. And one of our 7 main things with Frank runs our legislative. One of the 7 big things that we from a legislative perspective all voted on were election integrity issues, right? And we support Laura Shor's group in doing that. We need a statewide group, not just Greenville election area. But what Scott Gear does on our technology and server stuff, it really kind of started out providing backup for those guys with SC Safe elections. And I think there's 3 bullet points there on that she wanted us to kind of cover. Yeah, can you read them all?
Yes, so now there one is current happenings and what to expect, I guess, within the election.
What's going on?
Why we cannot use electronics, funds, crypto for elections, and number 3, the gold standard and demonstration and training with 4 tables of
What their group have done is
counting the ballots.
they've proven that you can count them. Right? You don't need machines and all that kind of stuff. And I know it sounds a little conspiratorial, blah blah, but I'm just telling you, there's billions, trillions of dollars invested. If you gave me $1 billion, I would find a way.
That's right.
To cheat our elections.
Exactly.
I listen to them. I don't know if it actually is happening, but it is. There's too much anecdotal stuff going on.
Mhm.
Our elections are close. And why are they so opposing voter ID and this and that? I mean, you can go the old school route of your precinct. It's where y'all vote. You're for Feaster. You're focusing on Feaster today. It's where y'all vote. There may be 300 votes. You're gonna tell me y'all can't count 300 ballots? You can. Yes, you're gonna have like maybe 10 different things on there, but you can count them. It's not that hard. I don't even mind if you count them manually and then you back it up with the scanner. I don't really care, but only the scanners. And only, it's scary because I'm telling you, there are nefarious parties out there that want to control the elections. I mean, but I mean, what we've always taught is that, stolen elections have been going and cheating in elections have been going on for millennia. Ever since they had votes, and even the Romans, they're cheating it in the Senate. It's been cheated forever. Who the hell? Would you think it's not going on now? I'm like, why would you think it's not going on now? And just that's what they got to do. So they've got it. I've seen them do the demonstration of how you can count 4 people counting, and I will tell you, they do it in polls. They do single day voting, paper ballots, and hand counting for 30 million people. If you can do it for 30 million people in polls,
Exactly.
38 million.
Exactly.
Look the other end. That will
I
be
got
done
a lot
on
of
March.
polls that are mad at me, apparently.
Bell.
Bell what?
Ring the bell so I can have
It's right
attention. Okay, that will be done March the 21st at 10 to noon, and that will be at the Five Forks Library in Simpsonville.
So everything will be put in email, right? To
Yeah.
us.
Or it's on
Yeah. And it's on the
greenvillegop.com/events.
And this is the Greenville County Safe.
No, it's South Carolina Safe.
South Carolina Safe. Okay.
Yeah. It'll be at the Five Forks Library.
Yeah. Simpson.
In Simpsonville.
21.
Yeah.
That's it.
It'll be convenient. I think we'll have some people from around the state coming and some stuff like that. So.
Okay, that is all I have. Oh, wait a minute, I
That
do
is
have some
all.
more stuff.
Thank you
I'm
for
sorry.
your attention in this matter.
Oh, no. This is, don't forget, Monday night at Denny's Restaurant.
Tomorrow night or Monday?
Monday night, the 9th. February, right? Yeah.
Yes.
February the 9th at Denny's.
It's hard to get good help when you don't pay them.
If we're doing the socialism, how it got into the church, if you want to eat,
How what kind of
socialism.
What time?
I'm getting to that.
One at a time.
If you want to eat, it's in the back. I know it is, isn't it? It's in the back of the Denny's, if any of you are familiar with that. If you want to eat, be there by 5:30. And it starts at 6:30. So it gives you an hour to eat.
Does this go out via email to everybody?
Yes.
I'll get on that.
Okay.
Just a comment, I
Right,
was
Jesse.
invited to a sheriff's citizens committee meeting.
Oh, yeah.
At that time,
Okay.
I don't know what happened, but anyway.
Well, right now, it is, and you're recording it too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, great, okay, good. That's good.
Okay, and then the next thing is Spartanburg, they're selling individual tickets for their gala. That is February 16th, President's Day. And that will be in Spartanburg.
How much are the tickets?
$100.
$100 a person.
Okay.
It's their,
We
their
don't do that.
it's gonna be their.
We need to do that, $100. We could do that.
Yeah, we're already going.
Yeah, we're going.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we got, yeah.
Yeah.
Come with us.
They've got all, they do, they've been told that all 5 governors candidates have confirmed.
Oh, really? Yeah, I knew they were having
Really?
Yeah, we need to
You
do
mean they're
it.
gonna show up with Nancy Mace?
And where's it gonna be?
Alan Wilson.
At the memorial, that memorial auditorium. That's what they said. I mean,
That's gonna be interesting. Okay.
President's Day.
February 16th.
Is that on
President's
the
Day.
website too? Is it on ours?
No.
We need to add it,
That
but
would probably be on
it's Spartanburg's gala. So we did the Christmas party. They're doing
They're
this
doing the
initial
gala.
gala. We got more events. Keep going.
We do?
Baseball,
Oh, that's right, I do have baseball. Oh, I do.
Christmas party.
No, no, talk about Christmas party.
We've already booked the date for the Christmas
Yes,
party.
okay, Christmas party, that's in December.
Saturday night,
Saturday night,
December what?
12th.
December 12th, Christmas party.
I think it's the 12th.
Yeah, we don't remember.
Yeah,
Put it
so
on the website. And
more information being out on that, as far as that goes. Okay, another thing will be the baseball game is April the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Sunday.
oh, good.
I don't know why it's not.
This is why I was
Oh, yeah,
doing
there it
it.
is. Okay, April the 19th at 2 o'clock. That's okay, I'll help you.
You get the money back for your tickets.
Just keep digging that hole, buddy. Just keep digging.
Keep going. What do we got?
Baseball. Baseball. April
Baseball.
19th, 2 o'clock. Tickets are $39.
$32.
$32. Do we have it set up?
Oh, yeah. So it'll be, we'll have it set up online.
Okay,
to
Jeff
buy
is
the
supposed to do
tickets.
that, John.
Yeah.
One at a time.
Jerry's supposed to do that. It includes your ticket to the baseball games and your food. It's a
It's a
great
great
buffet.
buffet. It's
And
actually very, for $32 is a great
it's
value.
really a great value, and we will
How
have
much?
candidates,
$32.
meet and greets with the candidates. Hopefully, we'll get some statewide candidates to come. So, more to come on that. So, mark your calendar.
It's a Saturday.
We got a lot coming up.
Hold on.
June 9th.
No,
June 9th is the primary.
June 9th is the primary.
So I had up there. I thought it was June 19th. Okay.
No,
April 19th, April 19th.
Yeah.
So we got that back section, the covered area.
Yeah,
They'll have a
the
buffet laid out for us and all
We
that
have
kind of
a lot of
stuff.
fun, yeah.
You know, we'll eat and then you'll have the candidates or whatever make their
And
little
then you
statement.
go watch the game, or you can just continue talking among yourselves.
But we don't buy the beer. You got to buy
No,
your
you
own
gotta
beer.
buy
But
your
they'll
own.
have
We
like
have iced
tea
tea
and
and
coffee or tea and
Water.
lemonade and water.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be a lot of fun.
And this weekend.
What's this weekend? Oh yes, yes. The Super Bowl's on Sunday. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I haven't watched any football this year. I
Really?
used to be a huge football person.
Wow.
But I'm quite done with it.
All those nice.
But halftime show, TP USA is doing their All-American halftime show on Sunday. So Kid Rock, Lee Bryce, Gabby Barrett, Brantley Gilbert will be headlining the politics-free, family-friendly event. You can watch it on YouTube, Rumble, X, TBN, OAN, and on Daily Wire. And I'm sure it'll be on RAV and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's everywhere. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Former Chairman. Best title in the business, former. So, what else? Is that enough?
Yeah, there's no more events. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
update on pro-life. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Anything?
Bill H 4760, that's the one that would give some teeth to prosecuting the mail order abortion bills that passed the House and with amendments and is now at the Senate. I've tried to figure out what exactly the amendment was. They didn't, underline like they're supposed to when new stuff is added or strike out was taken out. But I did read the most recent version of it and nothing seemed to be out of place. Back when they had the original hearing, Representative, what was his name?
course.
No, was it Burkhoff? One of the Democrats, he was trying to amend it with a bill with something that had absolutely positively nothing to do with mail or abortion pills, and it was shot down. So I was concerned when I saw that there was an amendment, but reading the current version, I couldn't find anything that really stood out. Maybe they, without going word for word with the original document, my guess is they probably added some exceptions to make sure people that they don't want to get hurt would be protected against the new law.
There was something I saw a video with Rita Edgerton at a Spartan. I think one amendment they did get on there was like if you essentially roofied somebody with the mail or abortion pill, like, you know, my girlfriend's pregnant and I don't want her having a baby and I drop it in her drink, you know, technically that was not a violent type of thing. They added that so that it would be a problem. So I did know some of the groups, the equal protection folks seem to be anti this, that it wasn't going to actually save lives because they're looking for something a little bit further down the line. I'm like, you know,
It'll save more lives than their bill was if they want to get it. If they were consistent with their argument, their own bill would suffer the same thing.
Right.
It's like for some reason my bill everyone's going to live by.
Everybody, yes.
Yeah. So
we're trying to, you know, I get incrementalism. A lot of people don't like incrementalism, you know, but you know, and if we should be getting stronger pro-life bills through supermajority Republican legislature, but we're not. But you know, so I get their frustration, but we can't just say no to stuff. And you know, the only person that voted against it, you know, from the Republican side was Rob Harris making a statement. So the Freedom Caucus people all were railing about it. 3 of them didn't vote at all because they didn't want it, you know, a no vote going against them. So they're obviously more concerned about their scorecards and ratings, and the rest of the Freedom Caucus people voted for it. So
What's that number?
4760.
4760 is past the House. I think they want to try to, you know, the Senate is weaker.
Yes.
4760. So it'll be read across the, you know, table or whatever next Tuesday. So yeah, we'll see if the Senate moves anything. They're not as pro-life as the House. So what else?
And don't forget to go to Raymond's website if you're not aware of it. GCRP is prolife.com.
Yeah, GCRP is prolife.com is where his committee puts a lot of their information on. So it's very good. So what else? Yes, sir.
I'll be quick.
Yep.
As I was getting ready to come in today, Charlie James got a statement from Tim Scott, Senator.
Yeah.
Because he was slamming the White House for putting out a Truth Social video on depicting Democrats as jungle animals and Michelle and
Obama.
The Obamas. Now, I've seen things on Signal recently.
Yeah.
Made my skin crawl. You have to be aware that this stuff can get out, can make the entire group look bad. I doubt if Trump is up there, you know, hey, let's. But these people have enormous staffs. You don't know who's out there. But please be careful, even what you put on Signal. It may be funny or sarcastic to us or them or you, but it can do damage.
You're right. Yes. If you're certainly in leadership with the party, you're representing the party, and don't give the other side ammunition that they don't.
Right.
You know, we
Use decorum.
Yes. So there's a lot of people that just like to go and say a bunch of stuff on social media, and they're nasty. I mean, literally, the head of the upstate Republican women, the head person of the upstate Republican women, put on social media that I was cutting my hair. Obviously, she was doubting I had cancer, and then put on that, this is in the past week, put on that I was cutting my hair short to make it look like I was having side effects to garner sympathy of chemotherapy.
Oh, man.
That is a disgusting human
That is
being.
pretty disgusting.
And she is the leader of the upstate Republican women.
With no following, so.
With no following, I get it. But I'm like, I will not tolerate that from our people. And I tell people all the time, and I will tell an elected official that you go and speak at those places and you give those people credibility, you're giving
exactly
a nutcase credibility. And
You're
you need
aligning
to consider
with
who
them.
you are. our elected officials are supposed to be providing guidance to the community and all that kind of stuff. And if their guidance is, oh, this person, because they're going to help get me some votes, because they're on social media saying all kinds of nasty things, and I don't want to upset them. So I don't want them saying I'm fake, my chemotherapy or their particular issues, or telling lies about them. Don't give them credibility, and there's a real problem when people do that. And that just happens to impact me and our mission and what we do. That's why we have 15% voter turnout. Who the hell wants to participate in this bunch of BS when you got somebody who's the president of the upstate Republican Women's Club saying that the chairman of the Greenville County Republican Party has been lying about his cancer for the past 2 years, has been faking all the videos and of our treatment and our journey and all this kind of stuff, and that I'm cutting my hair shorter so it looks like it's falling out from the camera. So what's extra funny about it is I literally let it grow longer this last round, so it would not be as bad. But I mean, we got to fix that, and that's what we need. Real people that are leaders. Those people have gotten ahead and then done the things that they do because they've run everybody off. We want a bigger party. We want more people participating, as opposed to what they've always done, keep it small to control it all. They want to run anybody off because if you don't agree with them, you're persona non grata and they want to run you off. We're not trying to run people off. We want people to have their voice. We want more people to participate in meetings by being able to get on a Zoom call, which everybody was fine with, until a couple people want to make a big deal. There's a problem with having people coming by Zoom. I want to meet in person, but I don't want to stack chairs, and I don't want to be responsible for anything, and I don't want to show up early and prepare the meeting. I don't want to do that. We're going to fix that, and we're going to address it. And some people got misled about it. But what Tom's talking about, we can't be the crazies, So, I mean, I will question about anything out there. Chemtrails, all that kind of stuff. I don't know what the hell they're doing. If you want to outlaw it, that's fine with me. They're not spraying something in the air. I don't know. But if they're not, do a walk. Say you can't. See what happens. I investigate everything. I don't know if they're actually stealing elections. But, anybody that doesn't want you to come look at the records and figure it out, that just puts up a red, flag in my book. Talk about I will talk. That is what the scientific process is. Questioning everything. And as I teach everyone, what we teach is don't trust anybody. Don't trust me. And certainly don't trust the people you think you should be telling you everything you want to hear. Because those are probably the worst. Some of the Freedom Caucus people are the worst because they're the biggest hypocrites in the whole damn thing. I don't like the establishment leadership, but I'm not sitting there going to bow down and fall over backwards. The Freedom Caucus people that are sitting there funded by dark money and telling the same damn lies. That's why the leadership doesn't like the Freedom Caucus people, because they know that those guys are down there lying, because they know what's actually happening and they're lying. And we're going to fix it. So back to how do I really feel? All right. Anything else? Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
We can cut this up and whatever you do, but we can dial you in anytime. You're always welcome here, and we want to know and follow because we need real people in office. We got to support that. We're not looking for politicians in office. So,
and Cody did get an endorsement.
Cody's got some cards. Talk. I know some people may have some questions about Buffalo. But I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
All right,
we're out. Thank y'all. We'll see you next week. See you at the movie tomorrow. We'll be doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Thank y'all.
Thank you.